My name is Yin. I will do the training session tonight for RxOne. We're just going to go through different functions, and if you have any questions, just send them through the chat room, and we can go through them at the end. So this is our home screen, RxOne home screen. So you see different tabs here, and these are personalized according to the users. So depends on what you normally use in RxOne, you'll see these tabs appearing on here. And notice section is where we normally put our notice. If there's any like outage from the APS or anything like that, we put them on here as well if we are with them. Right, so we're gonna go through the dispensary first. So I got it open here. So that's this main dispensing screen. This is our daily logs. You can see what script you've done today and if they've been collected or not. You can also view other days log as well. If we go to view and display other script, and you can type in the date you want it to show.
Or sort of request to speak louder.
Okay. Right. So basically, for text script history, the schedule is basically like your own calendar. So you can, enter in your booking for patient consultation or flu vaccine or things like that, and a reminder will pop up. Waiting list script this is integrated screen for e-prescription with RxOne. So we integrated with Indice and My Practice at the moment. MedTechs also go through HealthLink, I believe. So when a doctor do an e-script on their system and choose to send it directly to your pharmacy, you will see them appear on here. So you can click on the e-script to load the script and dispense it, and you can choose to print out the PDF as well. Right, so I just click new script, and it's required a staff ID. So this is the patient search. You can search for a patient name, a script number, or an NHI number. You can search for address as well, and the system will bring up all the matching addresses. Let's patient we have. So if you have more matching name, it will come up all in here. Right, so compliance charts will pop up. I've just gone through this quickly. So it will show all the medicine that the patient have had in the past with you. And the color of the block represent if it's an original script, original dispensing or a repeat, or if there's an expired repeat, it will show on there as well. Okay, and you can see the script detail and instructions sort of show down below. You can actually switch this off. I think, I remember so there's an F12 key is a quick key. So if you switch it off here, basically it's switched off for that section. So the next day when you go back into the dispensary, the compliance chat will come up again. If you want to switch it off for good, there's another way you can do that. If you switch it off for good, you can always bring it up anytime. Just click on compliance chat when you go into the patient screen, and it will bring up the compliance chat again. So that's basically just a quick glance. You can see how compliant the patient is. On here, we've got the allergy section, so you can just right mouse click and add or remove allergy. Cart sections, the same principle, just right mouse click and add cart details. So we got Communities card, Sentinel card is the exemption card, Southern Cross card as well. Special Tory number will be saved as you dispense a script of special Tory number. And what else? Oh, the count is basically the script count for this patient. So personally, the patient have 2 scripts. If there's any family member link, I will show it on here as well as a total family script. You can add external script number. If the patient had 5 scripts elsewhere, you can add it in 5. And it will ask you when it's applied for the safety net card, but normally we just add the day that we enter them in. So that will increase the script count by 7. Rest home is basically care facility. It may be an actual rest home that the patient belongs to, or could be in like a FOI group that you have for your pharmacy. You may have patient in a weekly group, FOI group or a monthly FOI group, and you can add them in there. And this basically used a lot in reporting. You can filter by rest home, or you can do cycle run for FOIs as well. Go a bit over the personal info tabs, where you've got all the patient personal information. Also, family member section down here is where you can just right mouse click again and add family member. The account. So you can basically set up an account for this patient and link into the patient profile. You can make the prescription done for this patient to be out of charge to the account or not. You can also link the patient script to a different account. Say if they belong to a rest home and all their scripts supposed to be charged in rest home account, you can link them. So that just makes it easier. So you don't basically have to go through point of sale and check them manually if you want everything to be automated. Back to the dispensing script, we got a few different tabs here. Full history is the first tab. Repeat, when you click on that, will only show any script with repeats left. Owings, sign or show script with owing amount, and house script, phone script. Right. I want to go to event audits tab, is where basically the system record all the event audit you've done for this patient. So you'll see the new patient created all done in here. If you do LTC assessment, for example, we record it in here. You can also record other patient interaction like phone patient or meeting. You can send text message to patient here. RxOne, we do have a text messaging function where you can send text message directly from RxOne to the patient mobile number. And when they reply to that message, you can see them on screen as well. And it will all be recorded in the patient event audit. That function needs to be switched on. So it's not all fancy once that. So that's pretty handy, the event audit here. Form and files is where the system will record your LTC assessment form, the LTC management form that you've done will record it, or you can add file from your computer from patients' hospital discharge notes, for example, or some patients that another form could be patients that on daily dispensing and they have early pickup and you've got authorization from the doctor, you can save them here. So keep on your record on the patient profile. Right, so we are in RxOne. I'll just go a bit on the print options. So we got the print option is a local setting, so you can basically set for certain station to print or not print some things. Like you may have a computer in the consultation room where you do flu vaccine and they all fund it and you don't want the receipt to print out, for example, you can set for that station not to print receipt. So a lot of handy functions on here. Same as DHB med card, I don't know, this yellow card here in Auckland, let me see. So you can choose to print the med card for patient on the pre-printed or the non-pre-printed version. So with if you use the pre-printed version, basically we're just going to print out the medicine, and because the front will be the patient's name and things like that. But if you use a non-pre-printed version, so just print out on normal A4 paper, so we will print all the information, patient name and everything on it. So that's different print option that you can set for per station according to what you need. Just gonna go back to, we can just flip back to the other screen without actually exiting the patient that we're looking at. What I have here is, just go back in here. And utilities, there's a few things that you can do. You can check patient NHI if you have a date of birth. We can actually switch them on to prompt every single time. If there's no NHI number, enter. The system will ask you to search for NHI number and it will search through the NHI portal. Or you can do a manual check. Open new consulting form is basically will bring you to the list of consultation form, who is in the process of getting the 2021 pre-vaccination checklist on. So these are the form that we have loaded and preloaded. So you can just say select a form. And the patient's name, oh gosh, this is Mr. The patient name will be, patient name and detail will be preloaded in the form. So you basically can go through and fill in the form. Once you save, you can print from here to print out. Once you save, you can view the form in the patient event audit. Okay. So the other option is open existing consulting form. So you will open the current one. You can make some change on it. When you save it again, it will say every second records. So you can actually see that there's original form done and then there's a second form that done. So you can actually, because it recorded and stuff, so you can see who changed the form as well. From here also, there is, if you have MIMS integration, you can check MIMS drug integration here, drug interaction, sorry. The other thing, okay, right. What has the, oh, go back on here. If you see on the top menu, there's the links. So these are the links to those websites that we loaded on RxOne. You can also load your own links on here. So you can add your own links through RxOne editors. And I'm just gonna log in. So under URLs is all the links. You can see those maintained by RxOne and those that added in by yourself. You can just click new and copy the URL on, and the link will appear on your dispensary screen so you can quickly access it. Right. So I'm just gonna show you a little bit more about text messaging. So when we click send a text to a patient, this is a text screen. So the from pharmacy name will be preloaded for you, so you don't have to type in. You can just type in your message in here, then you can review the message. You can also create templates for your message. And when I go load template, so these are the template I have in the database at the moment. So you can create your own template with the text on it. And so next time you can just use that instead of having to type in every time. So, right. Cool. If we go into a new script, so script category will be reloaded for you using the patient category that we set. So we can actually change this based on the script that we have. When you scan an e-script, the script category will be picked up from what the doctor selected. Right, so then we got the field, data span, date prescribed, so with e-script will be reloaded. So you can just select your drug. If you dispense an e-script without scanning it, and then you want to attach the barcode afterwards, you can just bring up that prescription and go files, I think, set e-script barcode. And you can scan the barcode on here. So it will attach the e-script barcode onto the script, even though you don't dispense it by loading from NZEPS, but the information will be sent back, and they will marry the code with what's on the portal and mark that flag that script as being dispensed. So so you don't have to worry about those voice settings. When you load a new e-script, you don't have the voice setting carry over. You can just manually dispense them as normal, and then attach the barcode at the end. Right over this, on the top left corner is actually your real-time label here. Stat now. So you normally, if it's a stat drug, you will see a stat in red here. Let me find something stat. So you can see that it's actually a stat medicine. Okay. Right. And that's your real-time label. We have, for our stock card, we do have CNA note loaded from NZF. If you want to add some extra CNA note on your stock card, you can just use from the drop-down list here. And you can also, once you select that, you can also go into edit and use current use the function use current CNA notes as default, so it will remember that CNA for that stock card for next time, so you don't have to keep adding it every single time. So that's your real-time label, and down the section below is the history of this patient. So you can see if I put my mouse at the old script, you can actually see the instruction and the price as well. So you can actually right now click copy and paste instruction. I will copy the instruction from the previous script onto your current script. So it's quite good with those with very long instruction and you don't want to type them all the time. Also, you can check the price of the previous script if there's a NSS charge and you just want to make it the same as last time. So those are the quite handy functions that we have. On the status panel here, you can see this few setting if it's a phone script. Again, down here there's a phone button. You can use that as well. Foil packs, when you click foil packs, it will bring you to the voice setting. So you can enter the dose. For your field, you can do it a weekly packs or monthly pack. And you can select your start date. Right, if I do that as 27, it will change the start date to Tuesday. So we actually check the calendar for you. So you don't have to do that. And when we go okay, it will ultimately extrapolate the doses time to fill in all the photos for you and recalculate the quantity to 28. Right, so when you have a repeat for voice script, when you do repeat, the next voice, the start date will be carried over from the previous one. So it's all pretty much quite automated. Right, what else do I want to go through? On the status panel, there's a few other variable repeat. If you have variable quantity for the next repeat, drug owing, if you don't have enough medicine to give, you do drug owing, or the drug owing here is we enter in the amount we owe. If I undo foil here, I cancel. I do 30, and if I owe 10, so on your label, it will say the spend 20 and owe 10 on there. On here, also, if it's you want to put the prescription on hold, remote is basically telling the system that I will dispense this prescription remotely, so offsite, so it won't take it out of stock. So this applies for if a pharmacy have different branches and one branch doing all the packing, for example. So you can set all the voice script to be remote. So when you dispense it at site A, the stock won't be taken out of stock, so that it can dispense at site B. Opt in, if you untick that, the information of the script will not be sent to, if it's Auckland, it's test safe. If it's Southland, it's One Town. I don't know, any other DHB will have different one, but that's basically what this means. Right. Cool. The order tab is recorded and what you done on the script. So any change and things like that. Okay, and the e-script tab will be the e-script detail if you actually scan an e-script and dispense. Down here we have a section e-note to doctor. So if you ticked this instruction change and you type a note, all of that will be sent back to the prescriber. Just on the edit menu up here, you can actually add intervention for the script as well. So it will bring up the intervention window. So basically the reason for intervention and what you've done. So it'll be recorded and it can be reported if you need to. Okay. Right. Oops, where was I? So I just am gonna finish off the script and I'll show you. So that script I just finished is actually show up on my daily log here. If I go back into that patient and look at an old script, what I want to show you is under the claim tab, there's additional claim details. So this tab shows you pretty much a lot of detail about the prescription. So you will have there's a balance of owing the spend. So if there was a owing on a script and then you dispense the balance, it will record the day that you dispense and who dispense it. So you can actually check if it's been dispensed. And the sale detail is where you scan it out at point of sale. It's recorded the staff that did that as well. So you can actually see if you do print out the back label for the balance and scan it out, you can actually tell when is the balance being collected as well. Right. Just gonna cancel out here. There's a few other functions on the dispensing screen and the close control repeat dispensing. So this is quite handy for daily dispensing or methadone dispensing. And you basically search for the drug. And it will tell you the repeats available of that drug, so all the patients that have them. So I can choose to do trade dispensing and dispense this. So for if I have more patients on these drugs, I can actually select the number of dispensing I want to do for that patient as well, and will dispense them all at once. So that's a quick way of dispensing daily repeats. The other one is the bulk copy. Is basically foil cycle, or you can use that for non-foil item as well. We need to put patient into groups or care facilities. We have one at the moment, so just go okay for this one. So my rest home number one is blank at the moment. I can choose to add patients into my groups. I can do it from here, or I can do it by bring up the patients and then select the rest home and enter the select the rest home for the patient to be in. Just gonna switch off that compliance charge. And from here, you can select the script that you want to add into your cycle. So we're just going to add it in there. You can add more patients and add more script into the cycle. So any script that on that window on the left will be on your cycle. So once you go copy, you can select the script you want to do copy, or do I have another patient? Let's see. Okay, let's add that in the cycle. So I can choose to just do a repeat for patient bunny, or I can go copy all and it will dispense all script for me. Okay, going on here. So that's bulk dispensing. You can actually set for it, don't preview the script when copying. So basically this is, the computer would just go by itself, generate script by script. And if you have, a large rest home or a large community foil that you do, everywhere, it's quite handy to have just set one station, let it run, and you go off and do some other tasks. So that would dispense. The thing with this bulk copy is if there is no repeat left, it will do a phone script for you. So make sure you have the authority to do that. Or you may have to go through and select those that, if it's for community patients, you will have to select those that got repeat left and do copy selected only. So now this would just run the script through, process the prescription through the system. Then you can go into the bulk rinse foil. And if there are 4 packs, you can select to print 4 packs now, or you can select to send robotic files. So send all the script to robot from here. In bulk. So that's the one you would want to use to manage large communities, packs, or rest home. So I'm just going to go through a few reports. So we have You can search for reports from the main menu, or if you remember the report's name, you can type in the search box there. Oh, I can't remember exactly what it's called. I can find it in here. Reports. Right. Owings report. So on here, I can select the criteria I want to report on. So I'm just going to do a report for the last month for all patients, all doctors, all script that I have owing on. And the system will tell me which script I owe. From here, you can actually double click on the script and it will take you to the prescription screen where you can disband your owing. So if you untick the owing, you will actually disband 30 balance. So you can disband the owings from the balance from the report, or if you click export, wait, go back one step, you can actually print it out and go through that list manually if you want. Or if you go export, you can do send text message to patient and ask them what they want to get their balance, or send emails if they have emails. So this is basically bulk messaging, and it will send to all the patient in the list, same message. It will work if they have the mobile number saved or the email address saved on the patient profile. So let's say we do send text message. We can select our templates. If we have message templates here, what's on my test template? Oh, there's nothing. I can create new. So there's few tabs you can actually select. If you go say hi and select patient first name. Oops, I'll do it twice. So patient first name will be generated based on the patient list of the report, and then you can type in your own message, for example, and then just send them all to all the patients on this report before you disband them, and just make sure they want them. You can do the export function, bulk send message and bulk send email on most of RxOne reports. That most of them you can do this function. And the other report we do is let's try repeat deal report. So I do this. You can select the repeat deals for certain client group or for voice group only, for example, or for certain RxOne only. And so this is a list of patients that got repeat deal, and you can select who they got the phone number and send text message from here as well. So let's say that one. So same window as when you send text message on the patient profile. You can type in your message or log template here. So that's text reminder function that we can do. Another one I want to go through is we got questioned quite a lot last month is how to generate report for patient over 65. So pharmacy can send text message and remind them of having flu vaccine. So that is a special one. Report generator is a function that RxOne have that you can create your own templates of report. You can report on a lot of things that we may not have the ready version. So these are the available fields for report. I will say, just say I want to do a report for patient over 65. So I will want patient first name, patient last name, patient day of birth. I just double click on the field or add in the report. Patient mobile number. And maybe patient phone number in case the patient doesn't have the mobile number. One key field that we need here is the person ID. Okay, right. So then I can set criteria for my fields that I selected. I can choose the date of birth to be before 21 of 4 19. I can't remember. Sorry, need my calculator. 56? 56. Cool. Right. So that's the criteria I set. Then I can just run report. And so I found these patients that on my system that over 65. Next step I can do is I can go export to mailing labels. So you can see that in the process of exporting, I've actually removed inactive patients. You don't end up text message inactive patients. And from here, so this is your list. You can see who got mobile number. So you can filter your list down to show people with mobile number only. Then you can select who you want to send text message to. And then you can send them a reminder. You due for your flu vaccine. So if you need this, we actually have a document of the instructions. So if you need it, just contact our support line and we can email the detailed instruction to you. You don't have to remember everything tonight. Okay, so that's what we got as a lot these days. So I will go through, sorry, just gonna close that down. And we're gonna go a bit over, just gonna touch base on point of sales. And let's check. No doubt script number that I did today. So in point of sales, when you go new sales, if it's script, you can scan in the barcode on the receipt and it will bring up. If you don't have a receipt handy, you can search by patient name. And when you go, oh, I can't never remember. Oh, at outstanding script. Sorry, I always remember Control A. So the quick key is Control A at outstanding script. It will bring up the list of prescription you've done for this patient that haven't been collected. So you can select what you want to charge. Or you can enter in Rx and then the script number. And it'll bring up that prescription for you to bring through point of sale. So sometimes if you're too busy and you give out the medicine, if it's no chat and you don't have the tool to scan the receipt out, you can do that later. So I just finished the sales. I want to show you something else. Then I realized I may charge the wrong script. I can do a return script, just a negative Rx. Pretty simple, eh? actually, before I do that, I'll show you on the dispensing screen. If I go F5 to refresh, you will see that that script for 44238 is being marked as collected. So now if I go and return it, go finish sales. And if I, where's my dispensing screen? Refresh it again, it's now saying no. So you can scan that script again when the patient's actually collected. If I go into that prescription to view the details and additional claim details, I could see that Jens sold it, but then she returned it. So we can track it down if there's some query about it. Right, but otherwise point of sales is pretty straightforward, just scan in the receipt or the item that you sell and just chat them through different payment type. You can do discount, different discount. Again, you can set your staff to have the authority to give discount or not. So yeah, or you can chat script to account as well. Cool. So also from here, just scan the item, select the account name, and you can do account sales. So basically chat to account. Oh, no, I think I did that. Sorry. And the next thing I will probably touch base in is your stock cards. So in RxOne stock card, we have the drug cards. Most of the, or actually all of the fully funded cards and some of the MSS card will be maintained by us. So we'll come down to your end at each month update. You can also create your own cards for the drugs that are not listed on the schedule, for example. And the OTC product is actually, we have a different OTC product database, and you can download them if you need to, but they are not forced down to your end. Let's find a, let's try that one. So low set is what I want to show you is in the drug information. So it's not it's an unfunded medicines. So there's a few things that you can do with your stock card. Again, the CNA notes come down from us. The user CNA note is what is other CNA note that you want to add for your own stock card. So you can put it in here. Standard instruction, you can type it in here as well. So whenever you select this medicine, that instruction will come up. The MSS override is pretty handy if you have a fixed charge. This will be the price per pack. So if you want to charge $30 for a bottle, you can just enter in here. So every time you dispense this drug, that price will come up. So make it consistent, just to prevent a situation where you're not sure how much you charged last time. Other few is the user dispensing method. So if you have a specific instruction to your staff relating to this medicine, you can type in here, and every time they dispense it, that will come up. So I just test that, and I will save. Right, when I go and scan it for patient, I'm going to change again. So your message will pop up here, so just to remind staff of the specific instruction that you have. Right. Interactions. Back to stock cards. Right. So the stock information tab has some useful information. Your users graph. You can set your minimum stock on hand. So you don't want the stock to be too low on the shelf. You can, if you want to have minimum of 10 packs on the shelf, for example, you set here as 10. So when the stock go to 10, it will pop up in your order automatically to remind you to order it. In the order info tab, you can select the day for it to be order so on a specific date. You don't want it to come up every day, or do not order until after a certain day as well. You can set that. Right, so what else do I want to go on here? Oh, additional information. It's tell you the last 12 months order history, the last 18 months dispensing history, and the last 18 months sales history. So you can view in and out. Okay. Internet shop, if you have RxOne integrated with your internet shop, there's information will be shown here. Okay, so let's get out of just gonna cancel that script. Right, I'm just gonna go through orders a bit. So it's just a reminder to do rolling stock tag. That's okay. So we have the order tabs where you got your current orders that waiting to be delivered, and or any new orders that have been sent away. And the invoices tab was invoice waiting to be delivered. Just go, if I go create order and select my supplier, so we'll go CDC. You can filter your order to just order for certain product group, or order certain stock type, like point of sales or dispensary. Different order functions like general wholesale order or direct order for 1 week or even half a week. Reorder sold items, if you want to just only order the item you sold since the last order or since certain date. You can do, I'm just going to go through blank order first. Just going to show you a blank order. So this is your order screen. When I go insert, I'm going to add my item in. Right, say 10. When you insert an order in an item in the order, it will show you a summary of this product, how many stock on hand you have left, what was your previous order, what was the quantity and who you ordered it from, and also tell you your expected monthly users and your last dispensing, and also if you have any owings on that, it will show on this screen as well. So if I just enter my quantity. Now, oops, no, that is escape, but Jeannie, what can I do with this? Oops, cancel. Right, let's hide this. Say if I change my mind and don't want low sec anymore, I can just go 0, the quantity, or I can highlight it and hit the delete key on my keyboard, and will give me an options why I want to remove that product. So this is handy if you generate an order and then you found products that actually not supplied by this supplier anymore. You can do delete key and you can set to say, oh, it's a wrong supplier, should be from different supplier now. Or this item is to be deferred on another day. So do not order until certain date unless it's used before then. So this is basically help you set the ordering system for your stock card while actually on the order screen without having to go into the stock card screen. So quite handy to manage your stock. Right, if I can just go down there, exit that. So another one I want to show you is if I go create order, in here we have transfer out or transfer in order. So if you have multiple branches at your pharmacy and you want to transfer stock from branch A to branch B, you can do a transfer out from branch A, and that will create a file and you can email that file to branch B. So branch B will go create new order and do a transfer in order. And we'll select transfer from file and select the file. And it basically loads all the items on that order into branch B database, and they can deliver it in without having to key in each items again. This is, so you can do the same for sometime with, I think with Green Cross or other buying groups. They will send you an Excel sheet and you order that and they will email you the confirmations. So you can use that file and import stock and order as well. It just need to be in certain orders that it need to have in this certain order for the system to read it. It will load the order from a file into here, into RxOne order, and you can deliver it that way. So that is pretty handy as well. This is also used when you do remote dispensing. So when you do dispensing a group of prescription, but to be packed at a different site, you can send them the report for drug users. Just gonna go back to reports. Thank you. Okay. Right. Say if you do a whole bunch of 4 script today, it's April. So you can select external packed only. So basically it will only report on the drugs that you use for those groups that take as remote. And then you can email that file. I probably won't have anything, just pretend that I take external packs. I probably won't have anything in my database. So when you go export, you can email that file to branch B, and they will have that file to import into their order and take the stock out of their system. So yeah, we got quite a few pharmacies doing that. Right. Well, I think. So that's ordering, stock card, sales, Spencer. I think we may have a little break and see what question we got through chat room, and if you guys have any questions.
I have a sort of question.
Oh, you do? You can't prepare.
Yeah, but I think you might have covered. I'll just give it to you and see.
Type script. Do you mean like the Spanish script?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think you've covered some of them.
Sure. Do you want to have a quick break first? Have a drink? Yeah, and then we come back. Oh. Okay. I was thinking some.
I have a question.
You just started for
A few months ago.
yeah. How's that like? It's very different.
Yeah. Oh, I like it so much more. I was so full of amazing. When I was in this. Really?
Yeah, I was even at one point because I was managing a pharmacy in Epsom. I was even at one point like I wanted to do this.
Did I click something? Because when I click escape to that insert item, it's actually show the Zoom.
Oh, is it because well, I can't start it either. That's weird.
How about you check
It
the
says
space to see it? It's like in progress.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look. What did you click? Did you? Oh, you didn't click anything.
I don't actually know.
Yeah, we can still see and hear you, so you can run through closed control. You can still hear and see you, so just run through closed control for Jackie.
Oh, now? Okay.
Hi Jackie, we're just running through your question now.
Right, I may actually display another closed control script. So you can see on different patient. Jackie, just give me one sec. I'll do a Lebanese maybe. And new script. Oops. Okay, now I have two patients on that diazepam 2. So when I go into files up here and go close control repeat dispensing, I'll just search for the drugs that I want to do the repeat for. Oh, that's that wrong. So now you can see I got 2 patients on diazepam 2 milligram, and it's told me that the data spent for the previous data spent. So say if I want to do 3 repeats for Mr. Bunny, and I do 2 repeats for a test. So I sort of just enter in the dispensing, the number of dispensing I want to do for each patient. And then I can go spend all script. So now all load Mr. Bunny, suffix number 2. Okay, I can now change my dispensing day for tomorrow, for example, and then go finish. And then it will load Mr. Bunny, suffix 3, so which is the second repeat. Then I can go change my dispensing day. If the patient going to pick up 3 tomorrow, for example. And Mr. Bunny again, the third dispensing, because I set for to dispense 3 repeats. Then when I go finish that, I will load a test script repeats number 2, which is the first slot. Okay, can change data spent. And then it load a test again for another repeat because that's what I want. And just go finish. So that's done. It's going to run through the whole cycles like that. So if you go back into it, you will see I just spent 2 more repeats per day as a payment through that close control repeat dispensing. Okay, is that all good now? Just for
We have to ask for down. I wish you would be. That's 76.
As you get scenes in the
Two people came in that made an appointment.
we did one. This is when we started, it was a 10 past 10.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And so Jake went off and did it, and then Jake had
No, these people were under 65. And then they wanted to pay, and I said, oh, no, they don't need to be over 65. And the girl goes, no, they just said they're not.
oh, but you didn't know that.
No. Because everybody assumed somebody else had asked. One was 1956. So I just said to them.
What?
I said to yeah, we chose them.
Oh. It's probably surprised.
Section 3 of the vaccine.
Because that's when you do that timing stuff. It's not great. Online, put in their age, the year. And then online look at it.
Oh, I just I need to put the right in because but I don't.
Yeah, no. That was it.
And probably the one that I'm like,
You just walked in this thing.
Yeah,
Right, yes, you're not going to do that.
and yeah, so I didn't really.
Is it on the board? No.
Oh, they don't do this.
It doesn't say you're over 60. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A specific question about
Yeah.
compound.
Yes.
So when we have to make something that involves crushing tablets.
Yeah.
So you've got to put 3 or 4, and then to try and get it as a percentage of try clicking, not a percentage. And
Yeah, it's a bit fiddly sometimes.
so like do time and percent movement.
Yeah.
If I can do this, that will make me really happy. Compounding is like 50-50.
You can take down character volume.
Yeah, but it doesn't, I've never, I don't know. But then, because you don't want to, yeah, it takes it out, I don't know.
So
Let's try and do it.
yeah, let's
But,
try. Do you have a
well, it's usually
formulation?
240 milligrams, but just put in anything. Yeah, put in 120.
The 240 is not available anymore.
Is it not?
Or
Is it
is it not to ties?
240, really?
Oops, actually, oh, that's this.
Go on.
You go 120,
Just try
doesn't
that.
matter.
Okay, and say
No.
4 or
Yeah, or 8 or, yeah, yeah, and then, what's the name?
White soft paraffin.
Yeah, white soft paraffin.
no paraffin.
It's easier.
No, that's probably this.
Make it a more
So I'll
spicy.
try and make that number 6 one.
I haven't done it compounding in a long,
Yeah,
long
well,
time.
recruit it.
Oh, that's the wrong compound. Oh, never mind.
It doesn't matter.
And you want the whole thing to be, say, 50 grams. Down the-
Okay, 50 grams.
Yeah, that's what I get. I get all kinds of.
So it doesn't count the percentage of the TISM. It still work out you need 46 grams
Yeah, and that's what you.
of that.
So it's taking that 4
Well,
grams
yeah,
out.
like I can't put in like the amount that it should be. I can't put in the grams that we're actually measuring out
Yeah.
and still have something different as the total amount. Do you know what I mean? So say if I knew that was going to be 48 grams, I can't, and I knew that the capsules came to 2 grams. Yeah, I can't make that 48 and the total quantity 50. Can I? Yeah, I get that. I get that one a
Do you
lot.
wish to use the sum of ingredient as the total quantity?
Yeah, I get that one too.
Yeah, you just bypass it.
Okay. So what did you do?
I just, because when it say then the total ingredients does, shall we do it again?
Yeah, sorry.
I say no, because it asks you the total ingredient add does not match the final
Yeah.
quantity. Do you want to use the sum of total ingredients as final quantity? I go no.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then let's have another warning saying your total ingredient doesn't add up to the final amount.
Right.
It's got okay, ignore it. But and then it will let you
Look, you've done it.
because we have don't count to volume.
Okay, yeah. Well, I must always go yes or something because I've been wrong.
Yeah, because there's when the warning pop up, we tend to get panicked and go.
Yeah,
yes.
oh, we do.
Yeah. But you just know to bypass it. Basically, it's warning because it doesn't really understand. Because what we have is really basic compounding, a New Zealand version. So it doesn't account for lots of different situations, but you can bypass it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go.
And okay. What's the name? You wish say, do you wish to use the sum of the ingredients as a total?
Oh, right. No.
And so this is basically telling you to review it.
Please review it. All
Yeah.
good.
No
Okay.
print.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next no problem. Okay, do we have any question on the chat room, Jenny? I have a list here, so right. So type prescription. So yeah, basically I can go through that with you. Yes. So your new script, you search for your patients. So this is a history. One of your questions is check dispensing history of that medication. One quick way, a compliance chart. Because compliance chart listed under alphabetical of the drug name. So you can say that I dispense diazepam this week, April. And if you put your mouse there, you will see the script number that dispensed and the instruction as well. So that's a quick way to see when was the last time you dispensed that drug for this patient. Right.
And like for CD stock take, like the numbers don't add up, and you have to look at everyone who's on oxycodone for the last half a year.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So one quick way is through the stock count. And because in the stock count it shows you the last 18 months dispensing history. So I normally use this for control drugs for the CD box because I can check all the entries for in and out. So I can check that I deliver these in and I dispense these, so that show the last 18 months. If it's outside this period, you can do a report for you can go script, drug reports, drug dispensing history. And you can select your period for report, say we do for the last year. And take prompt to select individual stock cards. So you only report on dispensing of that stock card. And we go, okay. I don't know if I have any option on dispense. Oh, you should. And then I select the one that I want to report on. So this screen basically gives you option to add extra stock card that you want to report on the same report. And otherwise just go okay to move on. And you got all these script numbers and the day of dispensing. And so that's a report you can run. If the information is outside the period that the stock card show, I normally go here, it's quick. Yeah. Okay. How to edit script and do repeat. You got that? Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, all good. I just want to go to check specialty. So when you dispense a, sorry. We can't access specialty website.
Okay.
But
In the link.
say if you're doing a script for something, you go to link specialty. You can actually copy the patient NHI and then paste it into the specialty website, and you can search for it that way. Okay. Set up this pack. Do you want me to go through that again? Because I've gone through it quite quickly. Because actually, we had video for that on YouTube.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
later then.
Yeah. So because I covered that quite in detail previous training, and we do have video on YouTube channels. So you can watch that. This pack cycle is basically the bulk copy that I showed.
The
Yeah,
thing
so-
with bulk copy, it doesn't show you the patient history individually, like, so say if in March, a patient stopped serotype, no, sorry, in February, a patient stopped serotype, and in March, he's on Brio, and a staff forgot to inactivate that repeat. By putting through bulk, the system just prints serotype and Brio together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so once a medicine is stopped, but that medicine was in the cycle, you have to go to cycle to remove it. So basically select and remove. So when you stopped it on the patient history, so basically we have to do it at two places. If the patient is in the cycle, you will have to stop repeat in the patient history. And I will remove it from cycle as well. I think I haven't actually tested, but I think if that script is in the cycle, when you dispense this here, if I dispense that, let's see if there's any warning. Yeah, they tell you the repeat's been inactive. So if you sit there at the computer where the cycle is running, you will see this warning. So technically you don't need to go to, well, you will need to remove it from the cycle eventually, otherwise it can pop up every time you run the cycle. But it does tell you that no, the script is inactive, so I won't run this. Okay. So make sure that we remember to stop it either in the patient history screen or remove from the cycle, at least one place. How to create, that's what I forgot to show you guys. Not here, where am I? Patient instruction code, control I. So depends on your system, you may have some that come down from us or some that created by other user, but you can select one and modify it, which is change it to something else, or you can create new and type in your own sake and then what is actually expanded to. And you can also add say not to be taken into that sake as well. So a lot of people do that for like the check well, oh no, not check well, sorry, apply sparingly, for example. You have not to be taken attached as well. So that's where you create patient instruction and create your sick. How to go on TestSafe? Again, at TestSafe URL into your links.
Okay.
So each pharmacy will have your own specific code and different URL. So you have your login for TestSafe. So you need to go into your normal browser, login first, then copy that link on the top browser into the RxOne editor. And that's under all the way down the bottom. URL and just go new and copy your link in here, go to TestSafe. Okay, and then you will find it in the links. Issue O. So basically, yeah, select the script owing. Find O for a specific patient through the owing tabs, or this script will be the O one will be in red, or you can run a report for drug owing that I've gone through before. Stock tag list. We recommend to do stock tag through rolling stock tag. So basically, you can go new for a new stock tag and select to do dispensary or shop, and you can select to do stock tag for certain product groups. So because we do section by section, and then you can select to just show active stock only because we don't want to count inactive stock, or I don't know, up to you. Number of products. So each time you run a new one, it'll run down a list of 50 or you want to do 100. So and then you can show for it to sort by trade name or generic. So if I go shop, and if I go energetics, for example, and I got 50 items, and then you can select by end of last stock tag or select the stock count to start. So go okay, we'll generate a list of your items in that product group. So there's two columns, pack stock. So for shop, it's easy because it's all in packs, but at dispensary you will have a column for packs and a column for tablets. So make sure you change your stock in the correct columns, because we did have someone accidentally change the wrong column before. So yeah, you can go along and change this to 5, and check that, and when it's all okay, you can save or save all. If you finish with the whole list, you can go save all and clear that. Or if you only done like one, you're just gonna save, select it, and remove it from the list. So you're going through the rest. So yeah, that's rolling stock tag. Dead stock, you can do report on dead stock. Okay. How many windows do I have open? Oh, here. Reports on, I think it's under overstock dead item.
Okay.
Yeah. And so So yeah, you can set your criteria for what is that stuff like 3 month not so, 6 month not so. And you, yeah, I will come up with a list for you. NSS script report. So there's a report you can run.
Well, it's more like, say I'm typing low sec and I don't know what to set the price to, and I want to see what I charge other patients. in the
You want to
past.
see what you charge other patient in the past. Stock card, basically you can go to stock card and see the stock card dispensing detail doesn't really show the price on the script, but you can see who you last dispensed to and check that script and see how much you charge. Then again, set NSS override is easier, so the system remembered it for you. Patient income service report as in report, patient report. You can do it here as income support, or if you're in the patient screen, if you bring up the patient, oops, wrong code. It's also in the patient screen, also from the home screen. I think it's called ISS. Yeah, patient report ISS. So that's all lead you to the same place. Different places that you can access report. So if I go back here, report, patient report, income support service report. So you can choose to include family members and don't show the $0 script on report. You don't want to show FOI fees or yeah. So these are different options, and then just run report. You can print it out. Okay. TMPs, ECP form. That's from the console.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Okay. Good. You're good. Yeah, you have a question.
So if you're doing a script for, say, a control drug like computer or Ribavirin, it used to ask you for the specialist name and date, and it doesn't anymore now.
Yes. So basically, in January, I believe, we got email from the Guild and basically make it clear, because the flag that we had in the past to prompt for specialist name, that is basically a funded criteria. So if you don't enter the specialist name, it come up as NSS in the past, which is not quite correct, because the funding criteria for those dexamethasone and methylphenidate is basically, for it to be funded, it only need to have a valid special authority number. But the legal requirement of those scripts is they need to be written by a specialist or recommended by a specialist. So if they don't meet the legal requirement, you cannot dispense an NSS at all. So that's why we removed that. Instead, I added in a prompt that it need to be written or recommended by a specialist. We will, at the moment, I know it's not quite perfect, but we need to make some change to add in an extra field for those cards to prompt for the specialist name, just for recording. No, yes, it's used to, but that flag, when you don't have the specialist name, it turned it into NSS, it's not quite right. And the Guild was saying that it's confused other user that it's a funding criteria, but actually it's not.
It's a legality.
It's a legality thing.
So because our technician was really worried about this. So I went back and had a look at a few scripts, and there was one patient we didn't put specialist in the last 3 scripts.
Yeah.
But they're still getting paid for.
Yeah. Because the legal script basically is similar to your CDs that need to be on triplicate form, or now each script needs to be on a separate barcode. That is your dispensing staff need to satisfied that it's meet that requirement before they process the script.
Mm.
So technically speaking, the specialist name doesn't need to be on the funding. Because the flag that we have from
I suppose
before
that's why
is
we
a
still get paid
funding
for them.
flag.
We still get paid for them.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
maybe everything.
So basically it falls down to the dispensary staff that the responsibility to make sure the legalities.
I suppose the only thing is then you can't look back to what happened last time.
So that's what we plan to do. And
Yes.
still waiting for the program.
I look back, but then it's 3 times
Yeah.
previously and what it is.
Yes, yeah, we do. I reckon we do need a
I think
field
so,
to
yeah.
record the specialist name
Yes.
on the side, similar to your special authority numbers.
Yeah.
Just basically for your rec.
Yeah, so otherwise you'd be going to drag out the script.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that one,
and, doc-
write it on
and,
that one,
and,
yeah.
and it's a
That's
pain to call doctors and ask who's the specialist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, I realize that, but we're still waiting
I'll
for
tell
it to.
It's coming, I'll tell her it's coming.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
Just a quick question about the phone numbers and when
Yes.
we're texting. Do the phone numbers need to be in a special format? Like sometimes I see phone and then sometimes you've got gaps. Do they work for all? Like,
right. For texting, it needs to be in the mobile field.
Yeah.
Gap or not, doesn't matter.
doesn't matter?
If you have plus 64 to something, it's okay, or you have 0 to something, it's
Yeah.
okay.
But not phone or tel, some of them come up
No,
with that.
don't have the text on there.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
and if you put the mobile number in the phone field, the system won't find it.
Okay.
Because we look into this field.
Okay, and the other question is, so I spend a lot of time doing the script and then having to go back in and sending a text. Is there a quicker way to like send a text to that patient, a shortcut, rather than dispensing it and going back in and
So
going back
you,
in and sending a text?
right, if you're in the script screen,
Yeah.
you're doing the script.
Yeah, and you finish the
Oh,
script.
where's my script screen? The way that's okay. You can go back to this window.
And do it while you're
event
doing the
audit.
script.
Your script screen is still open.
Okay.
If
so
you suddenly
actually-
remember that I have to text this patient.
Right, well, usually I finish the script and then I think, and then you dispense it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a big script, so you're not going to send the text.
Mm.
Yeah, and then it's.
Yeah,
Like,
because
it'd be
once-
nice to have a
Yes.
quick button to send a text. I don't know, that's.
Yeah, at the moment, you sort of have to go through event audit tab to send text.
Is there any way, when you said, if you're too busy to scan a script out that doesn't even charge, you can put that number in. Is there any way from the dispensary screen, you can click it as sold?
I'm just going to sales.
No, but without going into sales.
Oh.
Like say Bugs Bunny and his aspirin.
Yeah.
Could you not click on Bugs Bunny's aspirin script and click sold?
Oh, okay.
No,
No.
because
That would be
I think that's some sort of rule that it
right.
needs to go through
That's-
actual point of sale
Yeah,
system to
right.
be recorded. Because when you scan it through point of sales, whether it has a charge or not,
Mm,
there will be an invoice number issued.
Right.
So that sort of comes
Right,
through.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
One more thing. That's okay. When you're in the main screen, say you made a mistake, you put in the code wrong, right? You go, oh, I have to go back and change my code. And so you need a new label on the script and you need a new receipt. because You charged them wrong, right?
Mm.
Is there not a way? So if you were
So-
editing, say if you edited Bugs Bunny's aspirin script or whatever,
Okay, hang on, sorry.
so
So
you can edit script,
you editing a script,
yeah. Okay, so you change that, you realise it's an A3 script, so you change the category to A3,
Yeah.
makes it $15.
Yeah.
You get another label out.
Yeah.
But you have to go back to another screen and get a receipt.
That's
Could you not put a little
interesting.
box down here?
Okay.
To print that new receipt?
that will probably go
See,
on the actually, there could be another, if we can add options.
yeah, print
And
receipt again. from
print
here,
receipt
rather
when
than
there's
having-
price change.
Yes, rather than having to go back out.
Yeah.
Because you can get a label out and get a new
Yes.
label, that's all good, but I can't get my receipt, I have to go back out.
I think,
People don't know this.
yeah, that could be now a new project, actually, just gonna note it down, so Yeah, we can set it. There's a like receipt button there, or
Yes, a
a,
receipt button down the bottom. would be
as
great.
or just an option automatically print receipt. There's by
Yes,
scan.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
If there's been a code.
yeah.
wrong.
Let's put it on the programmers list. Yeah. They will hate me.
Years ago. And I just had, I know that there's meant to be an easier way to do the section 29.
Oh, order.
Order,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or,
add to next order is.
Yes.
yes, but how does that
It
work?
doesn't work.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work?
Well, yeah, it doesn't do what you want it to.
So I just
Uh,
want, I get sick of looking at patients.
You
their
do
dose, and the
manual
doctors.
through you do it manually through the wholesaler website.
Mm.
Oh, it's actually work in our order system. Just let me note down
Sure.
this idea that we had before. Receipt. Hey. So let's say this is in the section 29 item. So I just right click add to next order as section 29. And I want to order 1 4 packs. So I can choose the quantity I want to order. And sort of show you that what supplier that's basically you need to set that stock cap to have a supplier you're going to order from. So I just go add next order, generated. When I go order, I think error was one of them, wasn't it? Sorry, just let me, because if I run CDC, it will come up with all sort of other scripts. Let's get out of here. Oops. Arrows, yeah, okay, right. Let's go orders, new order for arrow, pharmaceutical. I'll go click order and no item found. Is that arrow pharmaceutical? Sorry. Let me check that script. Yeah, is it next order? Click. I got 1 diazepam added. So that's all you need because the patient name and the doctor detail will be sent in the background. And you send this order.
Really?
The only thing, I suppose, because they charge you an extra, if the order's under $300, they'll charge you an extra.
Oh, you can insert things in here. You can insert things in here for your order. Or actually, that is because I do a blank order because I don't want a whole bunch of things come out. If you do.
That'll be okay. You
If-
do modeling or something.
I thought we got charged extra for section
Any,
29.
Yeah.
regardless of how you do
Yeah,
it, I
but
suppose.
if
Yeah,
you're
okay.
talking about the threshold of each order, if it's your normal wholesaler, you just do a normal, like a
Right.
general wholesale.
Yeah.
The diazepam will be in it.
Really?
Patient detail and doctor's name will be sent in the background.
Really?
Oh,
Really?
many pharmacies use this function.
Oh, so how do we do that?
Yeah.
Put it into the normal order.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It will come up, yeah. Because with, it will come out.
Because doesn't it come back with an answer saying section 29 need details?
Yeah, but we haven't sent the details. We've just included it on the order.
so
We
you
haven't-
have-
we haven't
yeah.
clicked on it to send.
Right,
You
and
have
if
to
we do
send-
that, we click on that.
You
then
send the
we'll-
detail
That's
first.
what we want.
So once you
Yeah,
finish the
yeah.
script, you send the detail as section 29. And then at the end of the day, when you generate your order, the
It's
item
in
will
there
be on there.
with the
And you
stuff
don't need to worry about anything.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. We like that. Yeah. That's good, I like that.
Okay.
Cool. Just while you're on the screen.
Yeah.
At one of our shops, the supplier, the order length of time, the stock type, it's all preset in there. But
So,
one of our other shops, it's not.
okay, if you use CDC mainly for dispensary, and you don't have to do dispensary, if say this is dispensary computer,
Yeah.
and you're only gonna order
Yeah,
dispensary,
you always do half a week or something. How do you preset that?
Yeah.
Oh, there.
set as default
Right.
order, so you do all your setting, and then you go 5 sets as default order setting.
Yep, yep.
So you might have a CDC shop or CDC dispensary, so it's up to you to
Yeah, that's
create those, but that's how you
And
save
then
your
keep it in
setting.
there, the next one. Yeah, good. 'Cause that's quite handy.
Fire and
Yeah.
fire.
Good.
How do you add a supplier if the supplier's not in the order?
Oh, yeah, if the supply is not on there, from the orders screen, you can go file supplier settings. So this is the list of suppliers.
Oh, okay.
Those that RxOne suppliers maintained by us, those are not ticked is actually created by you.
Mhm.
So you can go new and add your own supplier in here.
Oh, okay, and
Yeah.
then just fill it in.
Yes, header code is basically your account number. Right, if they receive order through web service, and you know who it is, or normally we set them for you,
Yeah.
because they not many supply that use web service. Or if they receive order through email, you can text send order via email, enter in the email that you want it to be sent through,
Yeah.
and then create order as normal and click cancel it. Instead of sending through the modem, it will send an email to them.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
I know it's cool.
Hopefully it works.
No, actually, that's not a new function. That's been there for a long time.
Oh, okay.
So I know it works. Yeah. Right. Do we have anything else?
We do. No.
Oh, you know where to find us.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Otherwise, you can have some more food and drink your lunch. You go.
Right, well,
you.
thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Very informative.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Question again.
Oh, yeah, questions? Yeah.
The question is, if something's auto charged, how do you mark it as collected?
Ah.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a very
that's a
good
good one.
question, because it goes, it
Yeah.
says it's collected even though it's.
Yeah.
If something is
Auto charged.
auto charged,
Yes. that's
once
good.
you finish the script,
Mhm.
it will automatically be set as collected, and also it have the A at the end of the script number.
But what if it's not being collected?
But yeah, like
It's gone.
like it's still sitting there.
It's still
until they-
sitting on the.
Yeah, so it'd be
And they
good to
come in and they
know.
go, have I picked up that? And you're like, well, it's gone out, I don't know.
Yeah. Or like the rest home,
Yeah.
the caregivers come in to pick it up.
Yeah.
And they'll go, is that being picked up? Like, we can't tell because it's just when we finish the script, it's been charged, but you
Yeah.
can't see an audit trail, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's charged.
Oh.
It's by default, anything that's auto charged.
Oh, well,
is
Seems,
marked as
mark
seems
it
auto
as-
charged.
yeah.
Because basically the sole column, the sole flag is to record it's been scanned into out of the system or not. So that is basically just the one flag that it's worth. So when it's out of chat, it's automatically activate that flag as well. And you can't really,
Because if technically you can't charge someone if you've not dispensed it, but yeah, the collection.
The collection's a problem,
Yeah.
the collection's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even people who've got accounts, you know, they might come in and say, is my script here? And it's like, well, it's on their account, so I can't.
I
Yeah,
wonder,
so I would
I
like
wonder
to-
if you still can scan the bag label, even if the script is out of
No.
chat. No,
Nothing
you
comes
try
up.
that? I haven't tested.
Yeah, nothing happens, it just goes, oh, no, out, you know, it says it's been sold, but but it might still be sitting on the shelf.
Needs a sort of like another step, like
Yeah.
and so that you can still scan it, even though it's already been
Yeah,
charged, but you can scan it out, so you know it's been collected.
Or would it be also useful if collection is not automatically marked, if something's auto-charged?
Yes.
So either that one, or you can still scan it.
Yeah, you can still scan it out to prove that that's when it was collected, yeah. Yeah, because you know, sometimes often one patient might have two you know, a couple of caregivers and, yeah, so
Yeah.
it is.
Cool, we can work on that tomorrow.
Tonight, actually, yeah.